when David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest came out, he was like this literary sensation, and everybody was reading him, and I tried to read him too, and I liked the book. I just didn't finish it. But I didn't not finish it because I didn't like it. I liked it a lot. I just didn't finish it because it was really, really challenging, and I got sidetracked. But when I learned that he had written an essay about being on the set of David Lynch's Lost Highway, I was like, ooh, I want to read that. And I bought the book that it was in, and I read it. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the greatest single piece of journalism I've ever read in my life. I can't believe how good this is. And I was just so excited by it. It was like such great writing. And it was about a film that I loved and about a filmmaker that I, worship. And then I saw that he was going to be doing like a live Q&A event in San Francisco where I was living. And, I got tickets and I went, and he did this like, live conversation with the moderator. And, he was great, funny and charming and stuff. And then they said, if anyone wants to ask questions, you can. There's a microphone, and, you can get in line and ask a question. And I'm like, I got to ask him about this essay because, it was a little bit unflattering to David Lynch. And I was just curious to know, if David Lynch had read it and what he thought of it, because it was like beautifully written, but, a little bit critical. And, I thought that David Lynch would have just loved it and like they would have become best friends or something. But I was just curious. And so it was my turn at the mic. And I just said, I was just curious, to know if David Lynch ever read it or not. And if so, what his response was. And he looks at me with this look of like contempt. And he says, I mean, like, are we like buds or something? No. I was like, oh no, I just really love the piece so much. And he said, I don't know if you read it or not. How would I know? And I said, I don't know. I thought maybe he'd like emailed you or something. And he said, no, we don't like hang around by the fireplace chatting. No. Sorry. And I was like, why is he so mad? I just asked him an innocent question. And then someone else asked him another, innocent and almost fawning question. And he like attacked them too. And he basically attacked every single person that asked him a question. And I was like, why is he such an asshole? Everyone loves him here, and he's treating everyone like this weird enemy that's attacking him. And then a few months later, I found out that he had killed himself. And I was like, oh, wow, that all makes sense now, I guess. Like why he was so hostile. And I was like, well, one, he seemed like really unhappy. But two, I think my interpretation was just that like, he was doing such a great job with the moderator's questions. And then I think he felt like these questions made him maybe like fumble or stumble. And he resented the questions because he didn't have a really witty answer. And he seemed like really, really invested in like having like a really brilliant answer to every question. And if he couldn't think of one right away, he resented the questioner for like making him look bad or something. Like that's really how it felt. And I was like, wow, he's like so brilliant. And like, he's so insecure at the same time. And he needed to be like amazing or not at all.